Maybe I should have started my research before we were on air.
What are you researching?
Nah.
What we're supposed to talk about today. Hey, greetings everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Heroes Peak podcast. I am your host, Chris, unprepared as usual, here to talk
Fake news. That's not true.
Here to talk entertainment, culture, and whatever the hell we feel like. I'm here with my wonderful co-host who will keep me afloat today. And we're going to start from the sunny side of the country, and that's with Brooks. How you doing, Brooks?
I'm great. Happy Tuesday from warm, sunny California.
Yeah. How's the virus going on out there?
Mm-hmm.
It's really great. Everything's really great over here.
Don't they have like a California version now?
Something like that,
Does it go away with a soy latte or something?
Yes, it does actually.
Okay, all right.
With an iced soy latte.
Thanks for being basic with me. All right. Next, we have Keith. How you do? How's the Knicks doing tonight, Keith?
The Knicks are doing great.
As always,
I feel like
right?
that's not true.
No, actually.
No, it's actually true.
I wouldn't say great.
No, they're doing
greater.
They're in the playoff hunt. They're doing great.
And from directly off the weight bench, it's James. How you doing, James?
The weight bench?
I meant to say weight, and then it just didn't come out.
Yo, man, it was Agatha all along, yo. She was in a back seat of Tiger Woods' truck. That's not cool, man.
Wow.
Not cool, Agatha. Not cool.
You know, to be fair, some of those stories, it does seem like his gym is a rate gym and not a weight gym.
We're starting with the bad jokes today.
Tough crowd.
It is rough. And leading the rough crowd, it's Mike. How you doing, Mike? How many feet of snow you have already?
Only 17.3 meters.
I knew he was gonna say meters, yo. Come on, man.
What's that in American, please?
I'd say yards too.
Yards.
Yards.
How many football fields is that? That's how people count in yards.
That's the only way Americans know yards is football. That's sad.
You're gonna go 5 mailboxes down. And then 3 general stores over, and you're there.
Right. Once you hit the Great Moose, take a left. All right. So today we're gonna start with some news. We're gonna start with a trailer watch. We've got Gym Time with Jim, a little WandaVision update, and then finally, after months of sitting on this, it's our bad movie of the month, The Fast and the Fierce.
Bad movie of the year.
It's been a short year, but probably. All right. So first, some hot news just happened today. James, why don't you fill us in on what happened to poor Tiger Woods?
Yeah, I was kidding about the Agatha part, but the true story is Tiger Woods was involved in a crash. I forget where exactly. I also did not do my research, but apparently he had to undergo surgery for a multiple compound fracture in his legs. Some of us may remember that there was some speculation on whether he'd be part of the 2021 Masters, because everyone remember his iconic Masters of 2019, and to come back from back surgery. From what I remember reading, that he was undergoing back surgery recently, and that he was post rehab, but didn't make a decision whether he'd be doing the Masters this year. So I'm not quite sure how we got from that to the accident to this morning. The only information that's available right now as of CNN and ESPN is that the accident, there was no field sobriety test that was undertaken at the time because of the extremities of the accident itself, and that apparently he was taking a sharp turn on a steep climb hill going downward. And then the next car that actually noticed the crash came out to help him. That car also got hit from a car behind him. Oh. So I'm wishing it's not a situation where this guy, is back on medication and alcohol and painkillers because he had a back surgery a couple of weeks ago. and for whatever reason, he just doesn't know how to stay. Hire a driver as opposed to getting behind the wheel. I'm hoping it's one of those situations and not, I don't know.
Well, hopefully he has the chance to make the decision next time.
And obviously, I'm wishing him well and his
Mhm.
family, make sure that he can walk again. He's fine. We all want to see him play again, but his health should be probably first and foremost. I don't like how people are already doing the GOAT conversations, the greatest of all time, as he already passed away. Like people are comparing this to Kobe. I forgot Scott Van Pelt from ESPN. I just saw on my phone was like getting shades of Kobe in the helicopter crash. I'm like, wow, that's way too macabre. But
yeah, let's wait till let the fate decide where he lands before we start those conversations, please.
real man.
All right. Unless anybody else has an opinion on that, we are going to move over to some Snyder news, our favorite kind of news around here for geeks, and that is news coming out of a surprise cameo in the Snyder Justice League, and we're gonna toss some names out, and I want you guys to tell me if you think it's what it's gonna be. Like, do you think it's gonna be like himself dressed as a character, or is it going to be? People are saying John Jones, Martian Manhunter. For those who don't,
Well, that's not really From what I hear about John Jones, it's not a surprise. It's the general.
Yeah, but it hasn't been like people have been talking about that, but it hasn't been like he's definitely Martian Manhunter into this. So are we like Condiment King or something like? But that's more of a James Gunn kind of a cameo than it is a Snyder cameo.
Yeah, no, I actually think it's going to be a Green Lantern.
That's not even exciting though. That's
it
not
is to
an
me.
exciting
I like Green
cameo.
Lantern. And they've messed it up so many times. Well, okay, not so many times, but
Once
was enough for me. Jesus.
Well, technically twice, because we got that like 90s of Justice League in tights kind of.
Yeah, I mean, luckily DC Animation was able to do some good things with the Lantern Corps over the last decade or so. But it'd be nice to see a proper Lantern in the universe.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it could be like what's Granny Goodness. I know there's like a picture of her in the background.
She's already there.
So
she's already there in the
I
background.
guess it's got to be a Green Lantern. I just don't think of that as a surprise cameo.
But the question is, who's playing Green Lantern, right? Like people are like, "Oh, Ryan Reynolds," but why? He's Deadpool. It's done. He's not.
He wants nothing to do with that.
He's not coming back to Green Lantern.
He just wanted to play Deadpool. He didn't care about any of the other ones.
So, you guys are so highbrow. Why are you guys so highbrow? It's going to be either the Wonder Twins or
Kite
what's
Man?
her name?
No,
Marvin, Wonder Dog,
Hell yeah.
and freaking Wendy. It's gonna be from the 1980s cartoons.
Yeah, I did like your take on the emo Wonder Twins with the pitbull.
Yeah, they're gonna be goth instead of the way they were in an 80s cartoon.
Do you guys remember Chop Fooey?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Man.
I don't know.
Who was the Apache Indian character that's so
Yeah, the guy used to go Electrock and
then he gets super big.
And he just got really
Apache. What's his name? Apache something?
I think it was
Apache.
Apache.
It's probably just got to be a Apache chief. It's really just got to be
Apache.
Yeah,
something super racist.
Our cartoons were so not PC. I'm telling you.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is going to bring up an interesting topic. Apparently, the Muppet Show has now got a pre-roll.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me nobody on this podcast believes that to be some sort of censorship.
Oh, of course not. It's I was actually watching it the other day at the Muppets. It was just
we did too. We put it on.
And yeah, I was thinking to myself, like, this wouldn't be on the air today. Like, this content, like they would revamp it, of course, to the, you know what I mean, like they have. But this warning that's all it is. be prepared. What we used to do back then wasn't, necessarily great
yeah.
for people today.
If you buy any DVD of any cartoons that appeared before the 1980s, they will all have that warning
Yeah.
label on them. So
Well,
if you,
Fox News needs something to complain about, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was watching old WWF clips with Eric the other day. All those characters, from Yoko Uno to Kamala the Headhunter to Hacksaw Jim Duggan. There was every one of those with negative stereotypes of the culture.
did you guys
The
watch
Bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers, Roddy Piper.
Did you guys
Man.
watch the Young Rock
Yeah.
Yes.
first episode?
Yes, I
Yes.
did.
Were you as excited seeing his like family dinner as I was sitting in my chair?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Iron
Uh,
Sheik.
The
How
Iron
great
Sheik,
was
I was
it?
like, the Iron Sheik, and
Mhm.
The Iron Sheik was never that Diesel though. I was like, wait a minute. They got like 2015 juiced actor playing the Iron Sheik that had a beer gut.
he
Still
was
big,
huge.
but he had a beer gut.
I like
He
the
had
guy
a
that got,
round belly. He didn't have an 8-pack. He had a
Yeah.
round, nice size, Bud Light beer.
I like the guy that got to play Andre.
Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm sorry. That was
Yeah,
that whole
We
scene was,
segued a little bit, but yeah, PC. Come on, man.
that whole scene was very exciting to me. I was
Mhm.
like, oh my gosh, I love every single person in this room.
So yeah,
So-
my vote on the cameo is somebody famous playing Green Lantern. I just don't know who yet.
Yeah, I guess it's gonna be it's Snyder. I assume it's gonna be a boring, normal character
Oh,
that we should all expect in the Justice League and not exciting and different.
Mhm.
I'm more interested in the question of, is there going to be more cameos in WandaVision at this point?
Well, there's still one, right? We don't know. Rumor mill.
Luke Skywalker level.
James. You sent me that thing on Pacino,
Yeah.
there's Mephisto, and rumor mills all over the place. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. We only got 2 weeks left, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to see a full like 40-minute multiverse battle with Doctor Strange coming to help her out.
see, that's who I'm hoping it is.
That's what I'm
it's
hoping for
Strange
too.
teaming up with Photon, and then
All right.
Uh,
Well, we got some. We'll talk a little WandaVision
Yeah,
later.
That's C block. C block.
Right.
Relax,
You're
relax.
right, you're right.
Jumping ahead. Okay. We do have one trailer to review here.
do we want to talk about Lois and Bruce? That rumor about the love? Oh, not the rumor. It was original script about the love story.
Those things go in and out of script. I don't want to make
Ugh,
too much of it.
nah.
It whether or not, because in the comics and in other places we've seen Lois and Bruce flirt or whatnot.
Yeah.
But in this movie universe, the characters he's created, there's nothing about an old worn out Bruce Wayne who hates the world enough to basically kill people that he's going to go out and start dating Lois Lane,
Yeah, the only thing I could
after the
see-
death of Superman. Like this
Right.
just seems
But it
Un-
like the only way I see that happening is if it's like that whole what do you call it, after tragedy people come together. You know what I mean? That whole
Yeah,
kind
but
of thing,
those
but it
two-
doesn't work.
But that's not a Bruce Wayne
Yeah,
type
it
of
doesn't
character.
work. Right.
Although he did buy the Kent farm though. Remember they were going bankrupt and he bought the Kent farm. So
Yeah, but
maybe it
that
was
was after-
Mama Kent he was messing with.
that would be better. Maybe
Martha. What did you say that name?
No, say that name.
That would be
It's her
so-
screaming, say
Yeah,
that name.
It's not Lois he was messing with. It was Martha Kent.
That's too weird.
Nasty.
Too weird.
That's
Just
Zack Snyder, man. That's not too weird for Zack Snyder.
Martha.
You guys didn't see 300? Come on.
300, the second one had a scene that
Mm.
All right.
Mm.
So, actually, have you guys seen the Mortal Kombat trailer?
Yeah, we did a quick.
Yeah, we did a quick peek. Come on.
Okay.
Come on, Chris.
All right.
Keep up with the team and content.
All right. So, the trailer we are going to watch today, though, the trailer we're going to watch is Invincible. Mike is going to roll that clip.
All right, ready, guys? Here we
Go
Oh,
for
I
it.
forgot. This is Amazon. For some reason, I thought it was Hulu, but yeah, Amazon.
And play. It's Mustachio Superman.
Well, that guy is played by
Looks like a porn star.
he's played by the guy who's Jay Jonah. No, I'm
So
talking
this is Sky High, but animated and serious.
Jake
Well,
Jones.
no, because he's the only one in the school with the powers, right? I think.
Yeah, but it's
It's not regular high school.
his dad's the ultimate superhero, and he doesn't have any powers, and he feels bad about himself.
There, Dad. What if I can't do this? Follow me. Slow down. Land. I said land. Stop.
But you recognize the voice, right, of the dad?
No, who's?
It's from the old Spider-Man movies, Jay Jonah.
Oh, okay.
And at the end of Far From Home.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
J.K. Simmons, that's it.
Gotcha.
So,
Wow.
have you? Is there like a comic this is based on, or is this a wholly new property?
I actually don't know.
Don't know. Yeah.
It'd be dope if it's a new property.
And Stephen Yeun, I guess, plays the
From Walking Dead, Stephen Yeun.
Yeah, from The Walking Dead. That's right.
Son, we need to talk. What I'm about to tell you.
But it looks
Yeah.
good. It doesn't look like, you know, a rated G kind of show. It looks more like
Damn.
what's the one we watch on Amazon? The Boys.
The Boys.
Not quite that far, but I
No,
mean,
but it
It
is
does
quite
look
bloody.
that far for a cartoon.
yeah, a lot of the DC cartoons kind of get a little bloody. Not a lot, but
A little bloody. Like this is. Are we watching the same thing?
I see a lot of anime. This isn't very much.
That's what I'm saying. This isn't anime though.
For American.
This is
very
not
nice.
anime. This is American cartoon cinema. Like the scenes that I just saw were exceptionally bloody.
No, I guess we'll find out.
Exceptionally.
March
What are you talking
26th.
about?
Yeah.
I'm listen, it looks fine. It doesn't
Chris
scream
is
to make more
he's
interest.
desensitized from watching
desensitized.
all the
That's it.
anime stuff that he watches.
Totally.
Yeah.
By the way, Chris, this is actually based on a comic book line written by Robert Kirkman, the founder, creator of The Walking Dead.
Right.
Okay.
He did it in the mid 2000s, early in the mid 2000s.
I mean, it's going to take a lot to go from it just looks like Superman and Superboy with blood to give me a little bit more for it. Like, okay, you're a superhero dad and you got to fight a monster from space. Like, we've seen this. Give me something more. I'm saying the same thing to the DC properties I'm seeing too. Like, they got to stop doing the alternative universe Justice League again and give me a little bit more interesting stuff.
I think they have a lot of content. The trailers couldn't give you everything because I just did a quick little.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Speaking
were
of
out for a good amount of years.
speaking of DC rumor mill, they're talking about rebooting Constantine.
Yeah, I heard
That's
that too.
interesting.
Yeah.
Through
Constantine's
HBO Max, I think, right?
Yeah.
Constantine?
But I do like Matt Ryan. If, for those who are not familiar, he's on the CW version.
Mhm.
He's the CW Constantine in that universe. He had his own show for a while. Got
On
canceled
NBC?
after season.
Yeah.
Because NBC doesn't know how to.
Do we know why it got canceled? Was it just like not pulling the
It
audience,
wasn't.
or-
NBC wasn't the spot for it. That's
It
why.
wasn't.
It was the wrong network.
Like, I'm surprised Grimm lasted as long as it did on NBC.
Mhm. I like Grimm though. Grimm was good.
Yeah.
What was the other thing I just heard today? Was another DC related topic? Oh, not DC, Marvel. The other side, Big Hero 6. The possibility of pulling the Big Hero 6 group into the Marvel MCU universe.
It's interesting.
That's a
I don't
little
know how would that
It's
work.
like pulling in Howard the Duck, which I'm hearing about also.
No, Big Hero
What?
6 is a different.
What do you mean pulling in here? Howard the Duck's been in the.
Yeah,
MC
he is
twice
technically-
already.
Yeah,
He's
technically he's in
been-
there, but like doing a full spin-off of him.
Yeah.
But I think Big Hero 6 is a little bit more interesting than Howard the Duck. I'm not a fan of Howard the Duck. I don't even like.
I
the
watched
movie.
that movie once and never again.
That's right. I agree with that. I don't know what
You know,
some people see in it.
When you guys start going down this rabbit hole and talking about all this stuff, It's kind of like when people talk about algorithms. Like I know you're speaking English, but I like I don't understand what any of it means.
Did you not see the 1980s
Yeah, I'm
movie
totally
Howard the
watching
Duck?
movie.
No, I did
Yeah,
not.
but we go from there to Big Hero 6, which is like 2013.
Yeah.
So what I'll tell you, Brooksy, is don't watch that movie because it's highly disturbing.
Yes.
And just
So-
because of the love scene between the duck and the lead female character.
It is
So-
weird.
So
That's
you
kind of
know how Marty McFly went back in time and his
Yes.
mom tried to have sex with him? Well, that same
Yes.
actress got in a role where she had sex with an animatronic duck.
yeah.
Literally the same actress.
Literally. So Leah Thompson
Ray
really
Thompson.
was not getting great roles.
Not at all.
Like
Clearly.
whoever either she has an awesome sense of humor, like a like top level,
She
or
does,
she
by
ha-
the way.
or she has a
she's really funny.
terrible
She
Agent.
agent.
agent. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah,
I'm looking for.
because they casted her in the mid 2000s, late 2000s on a show on ABC Family called Switch at Birth, and she played a terrible mom. Terrible mom. Ditzy, dumb. It was like very, very terribly written character, and she played that role. I'm like, man, she never had a good role. Poor woman.
So last thing I'll say on Howard the Duck is I didn't realize till this year that he was in Endgame.
Oh, you didn't
Yeah.
know? Yeah,
No.
I
you
heard that
stopped.
in the big scene when they're all
Yeah.
rushing. Yeah,
He
he's
came
in
out of
there.
the portal.
Yeah.
Like a duck is in Endgame, like an actual duck.
An actual duck
He's-
walking
He's
around.
an actual character in the
Yeah,
Marvel
like-
universe.
like
Yeah, he's
Donald-
like human size almost.
like Donald Duck.
Yeah,
Howard the Duck is an actual character.
right.
It is an actual
Marvel.
yeah,
a long
Marvel
time.
character.
long time. Yeah, you'd be surprised at the weirdness of long-term comic books.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm not gonna lie.
And that's one of many. Peter Porker, the
Spider Ham.
Like a pig.
spider,
a pig?
spider
Porker,
ham. Yeah,
Spider-Ham.
Ham bit by a radioactive spider. A pig.
He was great in Into the Spider-Verse, though.
Yeah, he
I
was.
love
he was-
Spider Ham.
He was, yeah, he was a good
It was the
character.
first time I'd seen him on the screen, if I
Mhm.
remember. I don't remember if there was an old cartoon. I think there wasn't there?
Didn't Simpsons do a parody of
Well,
Peter?
that's Harry Popper. That's,
Oh, Harry Potter. Oh, sorry. My bad.
they called him. There was Spider Pig. Homer called him
Spider Pig, yeah, because they didn't have to. Yeah,
Mhm.
Oh, I remember that episode, Spider Pig. I just didn't realize it was
yeah.
about.
It was a parody. No, it was a parody of.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna hand this over to Jim, not Jim, James, Jim. It's screw me up that it says Gym Time with Jim, but we call you James. So we're gonna blame Michael for this screw up.
I know.
He has to drink
Mike-
some like pre-workout first to get ready for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm about to bro it up. I got
Bro it up.
Geared to character. No,
Zach
so this-
Kale and
Hey,
Wheatgrass.
Before we start this, I definitely want to buy James some old Hulk Hogan shirts so that every time this starts this topic, he has to
no,
rip
let's
one
not
off.
do that.
We have to record
Absolutely.
we have to
100%.
record an intro with him ripping off a shirt or something.
No, thank you. You can have the Ultimate Warrior running through into the ring. That'd be great.
Oh, you could do Ultimate Warrior face paint.
Step into a Slim Jim.
Nah, let's not be those guys.
Snap it, Jake.
So this
All right, go
week's
for it.
story. This week's story is it's an amalgamation of a couple stories because I don't want to pinpoint who the person is and the event, but it all, it was predicated on a conversation I had with some friends not too long ago about gym etiquette when you're at the gym working out. And if you build a certain relationship with people, let's say you pick, the local, and we don't have any sponsorship, so Gym X, right? We go to Gym X, and you go there maybe 3 times a week. After a while, you start getting comfortable who the regulars are. A little nod here, a little, whatever. Now, when it comes to the opposite sex, whether you're the guy going to the gym, you start recognizing some of the females who have a routine they go into, they do their thing. And occasionally you go from a little head nod, whatever. So the conversation that I had was, what happens when a person of the opposite sex approaches you? Like, remember the last gym story I mentioned was where a guy asked another guy for a picture and then he went all ballistic and said, send this to yourself. What happens now if let's say Keith's working out and a female comes over and says, "Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you take a video of me right now? I want to check my form." And Keith's like, there's a couple other people around him. He's seen her twice a week. He knows that she's not there just to play games. She's there to work out. He goes, "Sure, no problem." He walks over and she's doing like a hip thrust, like 245 power hip thrust. Then he gives her the video back, whatever. And then on his walk back home or drive back home, he's second guessing himself. Was she flirting with me?
Okay, Mike, you really have to interject a video of hip thrusts into this.
Oh, I got it. Don't worry.
So this particular story that occurred, again, without me pinpointing people, name, and times, it wasn't me for sure. We started a conversation like, when do you get to the feeling where you feel like someone at the gym, could be same sex, could be different sex, are flirting or hitting on you from normal day-to-day interactions or conversation or photo, or the head nod gets a little too much head nod, a little dap, a little long conversation, like, "Hey, did you see the Knicks game last night?" "Yeah, I did." In the middle of your butterflies, he's like, "Yo, what do you think about so-and-so?" And then the guy's kind of like, or the girls they're a little too long-winded in the conversation. So based on that conversation I had with people, I'm not going to name who, I wanted to bring this up to the larger podcast here. Like in the first scenario I mentioned, do you feel that perhaps he or she was taken out of context with a member of the opposite sex asked them to video record them doing hip thrust maneuvers? Mind you, that person's been at the gym frequently. That person seems to be on a regimen of working out, not just for show and games.
I guess my question would be, have they talked beyond the hip thrust incident?
Before the incident, no. There's been no real conversation before the hip
Any
thrust
eye
incident.
contact, nothing like any extended eye contact. Nothing.
No extended eye contact before that.
Then I would say it's purely random, but it doesn't feel random, but I would tell him to start trying to pick up a conversation, like, because she could have picked anybody. She could have brought a tripod. Like, is there, James, as a frequenter to a gym, if you ever wanted to check your form, do you normally have somebody or do you like just set your phone up on a piece of equipment and do your thing? Like, what is your common way of handling such a thing?
Well, I would probably ask someone that I do know, who I've seen before, at least had one or two basic conversations with them before I even engage that sort of activity. "Hey, random person X, can you just quick photo of me or video of me?" Like, that's a little too forthcoming.
The difference is, I don't think you would be, if you ask somebody to do that, I don't think you would be doing hip thrusts in your video.
That's the part. I feel like the hip thrust part is the part that,
that's the part that had me on the line too. And I'm telling this person, I think you're taking it out of context. And that person was like, "No, I didn't feel like that."
So wait, I have two questions. One, James, who videotapes you when you go to the gym and post it on Heroes Key Content?
One of the trainers that work at the gym.
I find it weird that I definitely like, I couldn't ask anyone to videotape me at the gym.
It's so weird to me. It is
weird to me. Like,
so the Heroes Peak videos you see are actually my friend who works out with me. We go in together to work out together.
Okay,
but if he wasn't there, and I wanted to really get a video, I'd ask one of the trainers.
No judgment.
I'm judging a little. I'm
no
a little
judging.
Keith.
Okay, well, not for me. But
so
like
the
people
whole thing,
videotape them. Like, I think it's just so weird. Like, it's a room full of people. Everybody's working out. Like,
don't they have mirrors for that? Like,
no, but the whole thing
to me,
about,
like, I watch my form in the mirror. Like,
Yeah, but there's some workouts that you can't see what you're doing, like deadlifts, and there's a couple workouts that
Yeah, is hip thrust one of those
you wanna
that
see.
you cannot see yourself in the mirror?
Yeah, the hip thrust was probably one of those.
That's one of those you can't see nothing but your
I would
neck
think
and
that she would get like a chick.
That's the part that I was confused about because he
Yeah.
said there were other, not he or she,
But
person
she
X.
could be very bro, and like she wasn't in any way thinking like that at all. And
Okay.
she was just thinking about like this is part of my workout. Like she wasn't really thinking about maybe we're being children.
Yeah, I guess you have to follow someone's logic and go, were you the person right next to them when they were doing it and they decided to do this? Are they, for some reason they just like eeny miny mode and landed on me? Is that a possibility? Or is it like, hey, there's trainers and there's other more
seasoned
people, right? That they may have talked to at one point in time that would be more appropriate is a wrong word, but you know what I'm getting at. Like someone you would expect to take care of that stuff.
I thought that person was taking a little bit out of context and probably reaching a bit until he was telling me it was the hip thrust maneuver, and then there was like other.
It really is. It's
women that could have done the video as well, but he was selected. That's when I was like, oh, all right.
I also think if a woman is going to ask that, like mostly just like for me, when I used to like work out at the gym all the time, I was just so hyper aware of men and what like men always hit on women at the gym. I don't know what it is. It's a thing. It happens all the time. You walk into the gym and men are like, hey, can I help you with that? Or let me train you. Or even like men that are not trainers, or you know what I mean? Like, so I feel like as a woman, you're just hyper aware of that. And so to ask a man to do it,
very specific.
If it was me, if I was asking a man, that is a way of like engaging a conversation, of like trying to start something, of flirting, or you know what I mean?
Right. That's what I needed to hear. I needed your point as a female.
But let me say, that is the strongest icebreaker I have ever heard of.
Ever.
Well, which is worse? Would it have been worse to do a squat video or the hip thrust?
The hip thrust.
The hip thrust.
Okay. Hip thrust, for sure.
The hip thrust is super sexual. Like,
yeah.
Very sexual work. Like,
I don't know. I've seen some weird squat videos too. So.
Those are not squats.
That's fair.
They're not
Hey, that's not a gym, and there are no weights there. What's going on?
There are no weights, and that is not
Poppy
a
squat. Pop squat. Nah, this is good. I'll make sure to relay this, you guys' insight and feedback to my person X.
Is this one of our listeners?
So my question is, did you make a
not
copy
a frequent listener, but yeah.
Does the person's name start with a?
Sorry, Brooks. Go ahead.
The person's name.
Tear it down.
I'm trying to figure out who it is. The person's name start with a J.
No.
Okay.
That's one guess you get. That's it.
I was just going to ask you if you made a copy of the video after you took it.
Yeah, ask the person.
I am.
Let me ask Keith. Keith, if you were in the same situation, what would you have thought?
I mean, well, I need other variables. Right? I need other variables. But
yeah,
that doesn't seem. There's things that don't add up, but it doesn't like not add up cleanly though. Like okay, like you definitely could have asked somebody else to do this video, but we literally have never talked. We never even had like an awkward eye moment. Like we've never like. I see a slight. There's room for there to have been like, this is just a video and I need somebody to take a video and you were just the closest. There's a little.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell.
There's a glimmer. There's a glimmer of light there.
But there's other folks though in that area.
I guess.
I need to see some more of the situational stuff to be able to like call it cleanly. But I'm leaning towards like, there was a little bit more there.
I don't think we need a clean call. I'm going to vote that you strike up a conversation and try not to be super weird about it.
Oh, is this a chick that is this
I think this has got to be
is this somebody
relationship
wanted
advice.
by this person? Does he want
No, those person was like, that's not his type. That's his
then
type.
it's,
So
then it's not an
I
issue.
narrowed
then.
down who the friend is. It's a male. So that's not his type.
Obviously,
We figured that one out. Thank
we
you.
figured that one out.
That's not his type.
So I guess then it's a just go about your day and
Yeah, but I guess he felt flattered. And then as we were talking about this story, I'm like, man, I think you're taking this out of context.
I don't
and then
think
he was
so.
like hip thrust. I was like, oh, okay, maybe.
No, I'm with Brooksy on this one. I don't think
Yeah, I
it's
am
out
too.
of context. Even if it wasn't, maybe she's gauging interest. Maybe she's like,
That's a pretty
it's a strong gauge.
that's a strong gauge. That's definitely a
she's going
strong
hunting.
gauge.
but hey,
it's a good like no lose kind of tactic because it's bold, but like if confronted about it, like dude, like you're being weird. I just wanted a video.
right.
It's a bold move, Cotton.
It's beautiful in its simplicity. But
Yeah.
but if it is an actual flirt, like it's a very strong flirt. Like so
Yeah.
it's
Right.
It's direct enough that even a dumb guy would get it, but it's an out. There's an out to it.
But there's an out. Like there's an out just in case it's not.
right. So now he can go about his day and not talk about it, not interact about it, and go, oh, it
probably
was
doesn't
just
watch
we
this.
were just doing a video thing. And if she like maybe she comes up to him and goes, hey, what'd you think of my video? He goes, well, your form was da, and just keep it all business. He has an out too. Like
She didn't ask him about the form.
So you
Ask
think
him.
that
There's
one of
no-
her friends is on a podcast right now? Like, look. So I
Oh,
try.
shit.
So my friend is trying to flirt with this guy, right? It's like there's tons of people around that she can ask, but she specifically asked this
Ask him.
one guy.
okay.
And there was no
What do you guys
reaction from
think?
him.
Okay, maybe this is her go-to move. She even does it like in the bar.
Did you videotape you taking these shots?
I want to check my
No,
form.
hip thrust. She's
Oh, I wanna
chicken.
check my form.
Wow.
That's funny. That's all I got for this week.
Hey, maybe hey, if anybody wants dating advice, you've got 5 people who aren't dating anymore to give you advice. Oh wait, sorry, you guys. You
Wait,
Brooksy,
what
you're in a
happened?
relationship. You're not dating.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, but I'm not married.
What?
He's
Yeah,
also
well,
not married too.
I'm not married, and I'm dating, or in the field, I guess one would say.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't sure of your status. I just assumed.
Don't assume. I mean, you guys, marriage traps.
Marriage traps.
Was this a Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen movie?
I really hope you
I
Who
feel
would
like
have thought
that
that they
would-
would have grown up? Who would have thought that those little girls would have grown up into those women?
And that their sister would be more popular than they would.
Wait, are you trying to say who knew child actors would grow up weird? That's like the
Not what I
standard.
said, but
No,
Dude,
I was
did you
very
guys-
successful.
specific.
Did you
The
guys see
very
the
specific kind of weird that they turned into.
But they are
Extremely
weird.
rich. Also
Yeah, but they're
extremely
weird.
rich.
Yeah, because they were smart enough to cash in on their fame when they were young.
Did you guys
Smart
see the
enough,
the
yeah.
diss track they did to her for their sister?
No.
No.
They recorded a song, those early like late 80s early 90s rap songs that they had kids do, and they did a diss track against their
Yeah.
little sister. It's kind of
No.
funny.
Yeah.
It's very much
I
of
didn't
its
listen to
time.
those raps.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to
I'll listen to that. Yeah. I'll
Speaking
listen
of
to
their sister,
Hey. All right.
Perfect
So-
segue.
Great segue.
We are gonna segue over to the actual acting Olsen, Elizabeth Olsen, as the star of
Woman of real
WandaVision.
talent.
And it's our WandaVision section. Whew. Now, who here has watched any of it? Mike, you didn't watch it?
Come on, man. You
Raise
even
your
have to ask-
hand. That's the point of the visual. Visual medium.
He just wants to single out Keith and Brooks. That's why.
It's
Okay,
about
gotcha.
browbeating, really. Go ahead.
That's fine.
Let's say, Keith and Brooks didn't watch WandaVision.
No.
Sir.
So the married people watched it. The unmarried people didn't. Correlation? I'll ask you.
It's like you guys got a lot of time on your hands.
That's what
That's
happens when you're married.
I'm really busy out here trying to get married.
That's all right. We're gonna have hand
I'll
raised
have-
later, and
I'll
Mike's
have
not
time
gonna
to
be
sit
able to
down
do
and
it.
just nerd around.
All right.
Go ahead, Chris.
So we just watched episode 7 of the 9-episode series.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
You've heard of this. You've seen this, right? You know what that is.
It is unavoidable. It is your destiny.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Knock that shit off.
WandaVision, and it was not the. It had a huge reveal. Let's say that there are one large event and one large reveal in this episode, and we're gonna go right into spoilers. So if you haven't watched it, or just go and watch it. It's only 30 minutes, and watch the end credits this time. You have to watch the end credits this time for once. It's the first time.
So, and if you haven't watched it and somehow you're on the internet and you still don't know,
And you still don't know that
It's got a #1 trending song right now. On
That's
Spotify
right.
and iTunes.
then it's time to upgrade from AOL to something modern.
And the reveal was it was Agatha all along. So a quick history lesson. Agatha Harkness is an old character from the Fantastic Four comic book series. She was the governess for their child, Franklin Richards, way back when.
Governess, aka babysitter.
Babysitter, but think of it like Franklin
British.
Richards. Franklin Richards is like the Jack, who you guys, if you've seen the Incredibles, Jack is a super powered toddler and can do whatever. And so to take care of him, you need to basically be super powered. And the same thing with Agatha. She's a witch. She's a magic user in the universe.
Really old.
Not quite as powerful as someone like Doctor Strange because of the source of her magic, but still extremely powerful magic user. And she comes from Salem, a hidden location. She's 10,000 years old. And she takes care of a small superhero child. Now, she looks a lot like Aunt May because, well, apparently Marvel only knew how to draw old women to look like one way. But luckily, the MCU has updated the looks of both Aunt May and Agatha.
That's
Harkness.
right. They all look the same.
Yeah.
Old
Old
Greek
lady with
women.
white hair. That's all
Yeah.
they knew how to do.
Cheaper to
So
draw.
that's true. That's true. They all look the same. So Agatha Harkness, she is so far has been revealed as the force behind what's happening with Wanda. Now, to what extent is the force? Because it can appear that is she manipulating Wanda or is she strengthening Wanda's desires that's already there for this stuff to happen? Because there's a lot of time Wanda seems to be in control, and then sometimes she's out of control. She wants to be there. This is her dream. It's her reality that she's forcing on the town, but it definitely suddenly feels like when Wanda wants to maybe let go a little bit, Agatha has pushed her farther and farther and farther towards the evil end of the spectrum, as you know, taking hostages and
Yeah, and another
forcing
big
people
question.
into mental servitude.
Another big question is why? What's the motive, right? What's the
Yeah.
end game there? So
Which is why I wanted to pause there real quick, is because in this big reveal, prior to this big reveal, we saw a commercial because the show based on a sitcom, based on a universe.
Yeah, each one has
the
a
commercials have a little bit tie-in to Wanda, her backstory. But this particular commercial that they gave us didn't give us any backstory to Wanda prior to this the show. and it's basically it's a shark. It's a little boy on an island who's trapped, single island here.
No, that's the last
That's
episode.
episode 6.
Oh, I'm
That
sorry.
was a Halloween episode.
Right.
Oh, but this ties into this episode
Yeah.
a bit because the little boy is starving, and then this shark comes out. Hey, the 2000s claymation version commercial. It has a little yogurt called Your Magic in Ebonics, whatever.
Right.
So, but the kid can't get to the yogurt, and he just sits there and eventually dies, becomes a skeleton.
That was very dark, by the way. Very dark.
So fast forward. I mean, the message is that the kid really couldn't eat the one piece of food that was given to him by the shark.
Yeah.
And to sustain life, he couldn't get to it, so he eventually died. Right.
And he was told, what was it? Yo magic is
what you need to survive.
What you need, yeah.
What you need to survive. So Wanda, when this big reveal comes with Agatha, it seemed, in my opinion, I think when you tie that commercial to what's happening in the big reveal, is Agatha's not necessarily creating this universe. I think Wanda's creating this universe, but Agatha is somehow siphoning and her powers for some other nefarious reasons, and is creating a construct as well to keep her be able to control her before she
That's a good theory. I like that.
That's how I put the two together with the big reveal.
Well, this episode's commercial was very direct, and it was basically a depression medicine commercial.
Yeah.
Which is very much a modern commercial to go with
2010s, 2020.
modern family-esque show.
Yeah, it was basically take this and all your cares will go away.
Yeah, you're not the center of the universe, or are you? It was very, very on the nose for Wanda in this episode, starting to lose faith in what's going on with her and what's around her. Like more and more things are invading her space, and she's forced to push more and more power out to keep things running the way she
wants
wants
running because she's losing control. Yeah,
right. She's lost control of Vision basically completely, and now all of a sudden in this episode, her sons have disappeared, which is where she went looking and ran into Agatha.
So, first off, I love the homage to Modern Family in this episode. Even Julie Bowen from Modern Family was like praising.
She praised it. I saw that yesterday.
Yeah. And I think Elizabeth Olsen did a great job with those sit down in those mock interviews in front of the camera.
Probably her best acting.
Even Vision was hilarious.
Paul Bettany's camera work, his facial expressions were just
that makes sense. Like you watch shows like Modern Family or The Office, and people are doing these cutaways talking to the camera, and then when Vision at one point was like, "What am I doing?
Yeah, what am I doing?
Like, who am I talking to?" That was like breaking the fourth wall. To me, was perfect.
Even when he tried to disconnect the mic and he tripped, he got stuck. It was just so funny.
And so did Wanda. She was like, "Who is videotaping this?"
Yeah,
who's that? You're not supposed to talk back to me,
right?
Right. And so if we backtrack one more episode, so prior to this episode was the Halloween episode that you were talking about, James,
which was more like Malcolm in the Middle.
So it was Malcolm in the Middle direct, and it was her sons taking a bigger role, and Pietro the brother taking a bigger role,
right?
And the big reveal there was Vision realizing something's wrong, trying to get out, almost breaking out of Wanda's locale. Her having to create a larger area to encompass and keep control that she wanted, but still not getting Vision back. So the interesting part in that one that I wanted to ask you guys was Quicksilver Pietro did not act like a character. He was talking to Wanda as if he knew exactly what was going on at all times, and was trying to get into her head, and ask her questions and tell her she was doing the right thing. It was okay. Everything's fine.
What happened to your accent?
Right. It was this weird, like, he was not a character the same way all the other people are false characters, and Vision can open their brain up and they're stuck and they don't know where they are. His character knows exactly where he is. So at the end of this episode, the 7th episode, when he finds Spectrum snooping around the house,
Photon.
Yeah, Photon.
I think her name is Spectrum, isn't it?
It changed.
It changed, yeah.
In fact, it went from Photon to Spectrum, I think.
Yeah.
So anyway, so is he a character brought in by Agatha? Like, is he not who he appears to be? Is he Pietro from the other universe, or is he that Mephisto or whatever other?
I no longer believe he's Pietro from the other universe.
No, but I mean, if you watch the post-credit scene, which was the first for this show, the last episode, did you see that, Chris?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He caught Photon or Spectrum or whatever snooping around.
Snooper's gonna snoop. Yeah. So I have a feeling he's part of Agatha's constructs there, but
I don't think he's Mephisto. Some people think he's Mephisto. I don't.
Yeah, that's a theory too, but I wouldn't go that far.
I think
there's
plenty of magic users in that universe that he could be. I'm
He
just
could
trying
be
to
Nightmare.
think,
People are saying he's Nightmare.
What is the most interesting? Is it just that he combines the universe? Is it that he's another magic user? It feels like you're overstacking if you do Agatha Harkness and Mephisto, and like, is that too much? Is that too many like background?
I mean, I think it would help kind of close the loop on whether we think there's a merging of the Fox X-Men universe directly into this show. You know, maybe Kevin Feige and Marvel are thinking, we're not ready to bring in the X-Men. We're not ready to bring in all these characters. This was like a tease. It's not the real appetizer, just like a boosh boosh.
See, but I don't actually want him to be another witch warlock, because from a story writing point of view, you brought in Agatha, you showed the book, you brought in all these characters. A lot of people don't know. Now if you're gonna do it, I think it's too much.
I agree.
That's what Chris is saying. It's too much.
It's just doubling up on the same thing, like having.
Because then you have to explain who this is now, right? And you're coming towards the end of the season, when we should be focusing on,
you could leave that for the Doctor Strange movie. Who's this warlock? And that's working with Agatha, and that could be a jumping off point for the Doctor Strange movie. But you're right. Either way, it might be a little convoluted bringing multiple bad, villains.
I mean, I wouldn't mind
2 episodes left.
I wouldn't mind if he is just like he's working with Agatha, but he's just a mind-controlled Pietro. Like, I think that's a fine reasoning. Like,
I'm with you there on that.
So you're thinking of Pietro from the X-Men universe?
Right, but she brought him over, not Wanda.
Gotcha.
And he's not another magic user.
That's actually
you still don't have to do the full X-Men universe combination.
He hasn't done anything so far to show that he's a magic user.
Yeah, he's been very much like
super speed. That's it.
Yeah, his normal powers. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just been a voice in her ear for the last couple of episodes.
Right.
Or episode. Feels like more, but it's only been one.
Just before we get too far down the road here in this review, we didn't even talk about the big intro of Photon. We talked about that was the other big part of this episode. We created a new superhero in the Marvel universe.
And we had discussed that
African American female Marvel superhero, Monica Rambeau,
in the MCU.
In the MCU, I should say. Sorry, in the MCU. I thought it was nice that they finally tied in the mysteries of what we saw in episode 4, where her MRI showed that she was like some sort of light imaging that wasn't working right. And then as she was passing through the hex, all the voices, from Nick Fury to Captain Marvel to her mother, and you could see that her genetic level, her DNA was changing at the cosmic level. And when she crossed the hex, finally her eyes went blue. And which is they always do this. She did the superhero pose, one arm up, one arm down, one knee down, the superhero pose, which was pretty cool, cheesy but cool. And then she went almost head to head with Wanda. Wanda was levitating her, and then she was like ready to.
She tossed
go at
her,
her.
and she did the superhero landing.
Yeah, she's ready to go at her, and then of course Agatha shows up. Great timing.
Yeah.
Would you run home, little lady? Something like that, which
And
I thought was very disrespectful.
And then just like walks Wanda away. She doesn't do anything. That was what surprised me. Like Agatha didn't try to do anything to get her out. She just walked Wanda away. So I wasn't sure if
but it's clear that she no longer has any power of control in the hex. Like she couldn't control Monica any longer inside the hex. Like change her character.
Well, she tossed her, but Monica had enough power against it. So one thing.
No, what I mean, like change her. Everybody who enters the hex,
her visual, yeah.
They fall into the show as a character.
So what I'm thinking here is anybody not powered by a stone. So Captain Marvel and Wanda were both created via an Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
And so I think because that's where Wanda's magic originates, that now Spectrum, I don't know which one character they're going to do. Photon. They are going to basically say she was created through the same types of magic or
so she's immune to it now.
Not immune, but like she has the same almost power level. It's in X-Men words, it's like when Scott and his brother fight, they can't hurt each other with their powers because their powers originate from the
negate
same
each other. Yeah, gotcha.
So in this case, because because she almost made her, you made me. No, you made me first. You made me first. Sorry. Because she got her powers from the same source, basically the same types of. She is now not immune, but they're more counteract each other.
Yeah. My last theory in this, because I know we're beating this to death, is there's a theory that
it's only the most popular TV
whoever's
show
behind,
the world, so.
whoever's behind, there's somebody else higher behind Agatha, whether it's Mephisto or not, that's using Wanda to recreate some of the Infinity Stones.
Recreated Infinity Stones.
Yeah, so you know that Wanda is directly connected to the Mind Stone. You want to recreate the Mind Stone was what gave Vision life, right? So there's a way of, because when Thanos destroyed the stones and Endgame, spoiler alert, he didn't really destroy the stones. He atomized them. He basically shred them down to, protons and neutrons and whatnot. Protons and neutrons. They still exist in a form, just you can't access them. So there's a long theory that's going to cross through entire Phase 4 and Phase 5, where the arc is to recreate these stones from people who have been born from these stones and getting them to use their powers and magic and siphon that. This is a long theory. It's like the long stock. Like if you want to buy, Bitcoin stock or renewable stock, you're looking long, as Keith would say, he's falling asleep there. You want to buy the long end game stock. You don't want the short little, stuff.
Okay. Mike,
but that's an interesting theory, I think.
Yeah. No, I agree. Mike, any last theories?
No, I pretty much, I'm hoping it's Doctor Strange comes down at the end. We get some big battles. Strange and Agatha, and I have maybe Photon versus Pietro.
All right. So the last two, I guess, for me were the idea that Sword was actually using Vision's body to create giant robots and basically create the Sentinel tech.
Nice.
And that would be a way to bring in part of the X-Men universe another step closer.
By the way, this week's episode is supposed to be 42 minutes long. Just had to
42 minutes, a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit longer. Give us a little bit more.
Look how thirsty we're getting. 42 minutes of a sudden. Woo! Like,
that's right.
These shows should be 50 minutes. I don't get it.
The one show that we want longer is not longer. But we've been I've been complaining about. Oh my God, 12 hours of a show. I gotta power through it, and here we are. We're 30-minute episodes, and I'm like, please more. Give me more.
Did you watch like 300 episodes of Naruto?
Hey, I have not finished Boruto yet, and I only got about
I was
a
gonna
third of the
say
way
something.
through my third watch of Naruto Shippuden. So I have not completed that full third. Yeah.
Marathon. Anyway.
No, it's my fallback. Like when I don't have anything else to watch, I'll watch that. All
So
right.
before we move on, I want to ask you guys something about Disney Plus because I got an update today. I sent you guys a thing about Disney Star. I guess it's just Canadian. Did you guys get an update at all today?
I haven't checked my Disney Plus.
So-
It's not just Canadian.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Sources say.
Thank you.
Stephen A.
I guess, yeah, in Europe and Canada. So basically outside the US. So, and this is supposed to be like a Hulu equivalent or something?
It's so it's Disney Plus's international branch. So it is in Australia, Asia Pac, India, because it was already in India and now they're taking it and putting it international.
So go ahead.
Would you know if it's going to be different content for those areas, or
It is. It is
Yeah.
going to be different content. Yeah.
Interesting?
So more Bollywood in India, more
Yeah.
Asian and Asia. Sorry.
Well, up
Well,
here
right.
we got all a whole. So basically, when I was browsing through the Star catalog today, it basically looked like the equivalent of Hulu in the US. All the TV shows and the movies and stuff. So, and that's
Kind of.
the Canadian news was reporting it as, oh, they brought their Hulu service to Canada finally. So
Yeah, it's not Hulu. It's definitely
No,
not
I
Hulu.
know.
It is, but I
Just-
get it. I get the comparison. It is
Okay.
Star. It originated in India.
okay.
Disney Plus bought it as their international branch, but like not as in a Disney Plus international branch because that's already international. As in that, correct? Like more of like a Hulu equivalent to international.
So basically,
Well-
that's the brand they're going to use for local programming in the different regions.
Yeah,
I
Because
guess,
one thing we've noticed with Netflix is they have brought a lot of Korean, a lot of Chinese, a
So-
lot of Indian content,
UK.
UK
Mhm.
content. A lot of that is coming onto Netflix.
Yeah, for them, it's all about if they can get a license to broadcast outside of the
Mhm.
local country, they'll do it, right? They don't care.
Yeah, that they just put it all in one spot. But
Yeah.
interesting that Disney is like, okay, we're gonna make a more localized content for that. That's cool.
Mhm.
Thank you, Brooksy, for the update.
Don't read the
you're
chat.
welcome.
Yeah, that's true. Because for years I have been seeing, oh yeah, Hulu's come to Canada, nothing. So, which I don't really care.
Wow. Played Hulu.
I can watch
I
Hulu
said
if I
don't
really
read the
want to.
chat.
Yeah, we actually watch Hulu quite a bit here, so as
Mhm.
long as it stays in the US, I'm fine.
But I guess
it's really just branding.
The shows on the Star are commercial free, right? So because they bumped my rate up $3 a month
What?
today.
We-
Yeah.
We can choose commercial free and pay for it, or we can
Right.
just live with commercials and whatever, which is what I do.
Yeah,
Um,
but you don't get live sports in your
No, I don't
Disney
get live sports. then.
Canada.
I had to actually pay for CBS to get my Super.
Hulu has
Bowls.
live sports. I don't know
Hulu
if you
has
know
live
that or not,
sports.
but
I
Hey,
know
so-
now.
So I've heard.
We actually had to cancel the package deal that Disney gave us because we got Disney Plus, Hulu, and they
And
gave
ESPN
us
Plus?
ESPN Plus, which is crap.
yeah.
Yeah, ESPN Plus is crap. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
was trying to get some more information on Tiger Woods' story today on my phone. And it's like, oh, you got to be ESPN. Like, no, I don't. I just go to CNN then.
right, exactly.
Right.
So yeah,
So here, what I'll do is I'll keep browsing through it. I'll give you guys an update like next week on if it's how it compares to Hulu and stuff. So,
yeah.
cool.
Tell us what the hockey and maple syrup channels are like.
Well, that's not on Disney, right? There's no live sports.
The maple syrup channel is live sports.
That's right.
All right.
It's a sport up here.
It is in Canada.
That's right.
Jesus.
We love any Canadian listeners that just happen to stop by. All right. So our last topic of the day
Oh boy. Oh boy.
is our crappy movie of the month.
Under the right circumstances, a producer could make more money with a flop than he could with a hit.
You bloody little cheat!
What kind of a movie is this?
It's science fiction. Heartbreaking romance. Brave robbers from outer space. Really? Best one you ever saw. Well, my next one will be better.
One now, Brooksy, you get to put it in Mike's face that he did not do his homework. We are going to talk Fast and Fierce. Da-da-da-da-da.
All right. First question. Raise your hand if you watched the bad movie of the month.
I did. Wow.
Wow.
Keith's feeling doubly shamed today.
That's all right, Keith.
I see what's
It's
going
more
on.
about Mike not watching it than it
Issues.
is about you. What?
Like this is just people who don't do their homework shaming. That's all right. It's
Hey,
fine.
hey, my teachers did it through school and I turned out fine.
I'm triggered.
True. True. I mean, I
Back
just
in
want
high
to
school.
point that out only because Mike often points out that I don't do my homework. And when I listen to podcasts where I am not able to make an appearance in, he always points out, oh, well, Brooksy would have done her homework anyways. So here we
Not
are.
me. I'm not the one that does that. That's Chris.
Nah.
No, James does it from time to time, but it's definitely you, mostly.
Wait, is there a sequel?
No.
Oh
There
no
can't
no
be.
no 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 no!
Where do you get that from? Fake news.
The Fast and the Fierce 2017.
Is it that old?
No, because this one when terrorists plant a bomb on a commercial flight.
Oh,
Did we watch Death Race? Fast and Fierce Death Race?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
DMX.
Death Race. That's the one we
Okay.
watched.
Yes.
There are
So-
two of these, guys.
No.
Yes.
There can't be.
Fast
Same
and
actors?
Oh, the Fast
No.
and the Fierce. There's a spoof movie called The Fast and the Fierce. It's made by those guys who make
No. 2017, starring Adrian Paul.
That's right,
Yeah.
Curry.
Dominique Swain.
That's the spoof movie. That's supposed to be like Naked Gun, Airplane. That kind
Oh,
of
that's a
spoof.
spoof movie?
Right.
Did you watch the wrong movie, Chris?
No, I didn't. I watched the other one. I was
then
I was looking on IMDb and I'm like, is there a sequel or something?
Which is actually a terrible, terrible, terrible movie.
So it is a sequel.
No, but the one we're talking about is with DMX.
Okay. All right. So Brooksy, give us the lowdown about this movie. Take it
Okay.
over.
Fast and Fierce Death Race. Apparently, the original title was In the Drift, according to IMDb. So I'm gonna give.
It was in the trash.
I'm gonna read the summary from IMDb. Jack Tyson is a young man. First of all, he's like 40. So
Oh no, this is the younger brother, I think, right?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
it's
there's two
not.
of them.
No, it's not. This is supposed to be the driver. Oh my god.
Is a young man
A
partaking
young
in
senior
an,
citizen. Sorry.
in an illegal Mexico to California car race when a desperate woman fleeing from her abusive gangster boyfriend, who is financing the tournament, jumps into his car pleading for help, and who has an incriminating USB drive that could send her thug boyfriend, among
Thug.
others, to prison. So that's the plot.
As
That dog boyfriend played excellently by DMX, by the way. Excellent.
Right.
excellent.
So
With an
yeah,
X.
I like that. I like that.
Good.
So DMX is the thug boyfriend, the gangster that's financing this illegal race from California to Mexico, which by the way, is like bordering, they border each other. So it's not like it's that far of a race.
It's like 4 cars or 5 cars. I don't know how big of an event it was. But.
No, there were
So-
3. There's only
Oh,
3
3.
cars. 3
Yeah.
whole car race.
3 cars in the whole car race. and it was possibly one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I will definitely say that. It got 2.1 out of 10 stars.
Why did it get 2?
I have no idea.
I got 2.
There is one user review that I also want to read because it made me laugh a lot.
Ooh, let me hear.
Horrible story. Is there a story? The acting is pure garbage at best, and the CGI is really bad. Nothing makes sense from the start. This race they take part in for $5 million only has 2 to 3 people. What? I can't even write this review. I had to stop watching the movie, and now I have to stop writing the review.
Yo, that's hilarious. I love the female, I guess the female villain.
Yeah,
her accent came out of nowhere.
Can we just say that DMX is the big head on the poster. He's the big name, but that man disappears about a third of the way into the movie and doesn't exist until the very end.
Right.
Right.
And the cops come to arrest him.
It is the weirdest like choice to stick his face on this, because not only that, I mean he acts bad too. He's a terrible actor. Like even him acting tough didn't really do anything.
I was gonna say maybe it was a script, but nah, it was also his acting. It was a script and his acting.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the script is horrible, but nobody in this was a good actor.
No,
at
this
all.
is some of the worst acting I have seen.
No one.
No
one.
And my favorite part is the very end of the movie, because it was like I felt like they ran out of money and they were like,
no, she's right. She said it. It felt like they ran out of money and they just went up.
And that's a wrap, folks.
So Keith, at the very end, so spoiler alert. So at the very end, they literally all go into like a parking lot in a back alley, and like a cop car shows up and just arrests people. Like that's it.
Was one of those people the director?
Under the highway. It was really. It was terrible.
It brought nothing together. Like nothing made sense. It was just like, okay, we're done. Like,
wait, hold on. Didn't the younger brother get killed too?
No.
Or shot? Something happened.
He probably got shot. No,
because then the older brother was like, he had that Vin Diesel revenge look on his face.
All right. So number one, that this main driver is a retired race car driver, like NASCAR driver, and they're calling him a young man.
A young man.
Right. And he has to race because his brother got in money trouble. Right. And so he's got to go over to DMX and join the race. And DMX did this on purpose because he wanted him to join the race so he could bet on him against the other drivers.
Yes.
And also because his race is like live, is it live streamed or
it's
so you
sort of
want
live
more
stream
viewers.
On a dark web.
Yeah.
And the other two drivers are like just some random people with some random cars, and they have stops. They're literally, you know how
they stop at a bar. It's a race for $5 million.
Eating Mexican food together.
So it wasn't like, hey, you got to do a check-in quick and then jump in your car and get going. They all waited for each other at the stops and had dinner. Like, what kind of race is it where you all appear at the same point and you have to wait for those people behind you?
Yeah, they had dinner. They had like tequila shots. They were like going on their IG
That's
live.
good. The girl was
stories.
live streaming the whole thing. That's how the cops found them. They were following her IG.
Right. Yeah.
Wait, what about the girl that was with them on the? Didn't she have like some weird backstory? Like she was doing the race for her sister or something?
Her daughter. They captured her daughter. How did they get her daughter back? I don't remember at all.
They didn't. They never told that story.
They never. Yeah.
Oh,
it was one of the stories that just was left hanging.
I thought the daughter was there at the very end, like in the back alley for some reason.
No, the daughter was in a cop car. The same cops that came to arrest him, the daughter was in a back seat, came out, and that part didn't make any sense either. Like somehow the cops brought her daughter to her as they're arresting DMX.
No. Okay, so
Am I remembering that wrong?
No, they were arresting the girl, the evil girl, with the weird Russian /
Weird accent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened was apparently someone called the cops on DMX. That's why I think he was like, okay, I'm done shooting, and just disappeared. So they must have shot like, okay, why isn't he here for this whole thing? Let's just have him arrested. And then like his elite group of women bodyguards have to come and break him out of the Mexican jail.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then
that was unnecessary.
What was unnecessary was everybody's accent. That was unnecessary.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
It was the worst accents I've ever heard in my life.
Southern California, Mexico. I was like,
yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Do you remember that scene where our main driver, he stops and he's having that long conversation with the girl about their backstories, just to let everybody know, and that he had a sorrowful backstory about not wanting to drive anymore because he got in an accident in one of his races, and then like she says something to him, he goes, "You're right. Let's win this." like
yeah.
His entire PTSD is solved over a short conversation and a sunset.
Dude, this movie needed a Zack Snyder cut. I want to see what he would have done with this movie.
He just want to run over more people.
There was barely any car crashes or explosions. Like,
because there was only 3 cars. You couldn't, if you did that, there only would have been 1 person left. As it was, like, there wasn't really a race. They all stopped at 2 different stops at the same point. Like, you could have cut the first half of it off and just had the race at the end.
It was, I don't know. I chose it because obviously I love Fast and the Furious.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that this would be like, like mimicking Fast and the Furious on some level, but it was not at all. Yeah, I did.
It still sounds better than the plot of F9.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
I disagree.
That trailer didn't excite you? F9 trailer didn't excite you?
That wasn't the trailer, James. That was the entire movie. Remember?
Come on, don't you want to see a car somehow grasp a what did they hit with that's coming off the helicopter? They like
a side of a building, I think it was, right?
They like hooked their car onto the edge of a railway or something.
It was a bridge. It was like a rope bridge or something.
And then they get swung in the car.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it. I think it's
I know.
So stupid exciting.
Also, when I listen to you guys describe like WandaVision and everything that's happening, I'm like, I can't believe that you guys make fun of Fast and the Furious, and this is how you're describing what you're watching right now.
How dare you blaspheme?
She's got a point.
She's comparing
it kind of sounds crazy.
WandaVision, like that movie, Death Race.
You're literally like she was created from a stone. I just like
her powers came from a stone. Let's be accurate now.
Yeah, the stone didn't give birth to her.
The stone. Right. The stone that warps all reality in the universe.
Now, had that stone got into a car and started, racing, I would agree with you. I'm like, uh-oh.
No, it would.
I'm just saying, it sounds crazy if you don't know what is.
If a stone got in a car, it would be basically Vision's brother, right?
Yeah, I can see Wanda. I do this for my family.
Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember the Animorphs? No, not Animorphs. The one where he morphed into a car.
Yeah.
What was that old cartoon where the kid morphed?
Yeah, I can't remember the name. It was like a red Ferrari or something.
Oh, I remember that cartoon.
Yeah.
It was like on CBS or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we watched some crap cartoons as kids. All right.
Oh, those wasn't crap cartoons. What are you talking about?
Those were the best.
Cartoons.
No,
those were the best cartoons ever. Like that cartoon that you texted Mike. What was that cartoon you sent the picture of?
Battle of the Planets, G-Force.
Yo, like dude, like that brought back like my whole childhood watching that joint. Like
just woke up Keith over here. Old 80s cartoons.
Yo, those were the best. They had the best intro. They had the best.
Remember Pole Position?
They had the best.
Oh yeah, pole position. I love that shit.
That's Fast and Furious, Brooks.
That was fast. OG, Fast and Furious.
Speed Racer.
They did have the best intro music.
They had the best intro. Like they cared. They cared.
Yeah, those riders were on coke back then. They cared.
They still are. Maybe
they just don't care.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because I saw that and it probably like flashbacks to preschool when we used to pretend we were all those characters, you know.
Wait, preschool? You're watching those?
Oh yeah, that was 78.
Well, those are super old cartoons.
Yeah,
dude. 78. I was only 1.
They were, I thought that they were ahead of their
1.
time then. At the time,
but
maybe for one of our other shows, we can talk about 80s, like fun 80s cartoons that we grew up on.
Yeah, we'd do that.
Oh,
bet.
Yeah, I was a huge GI Joe fanatic. Like that
Me
was
too.
my jam. GI Joe.
Yeah.
You know what I like about those type of shows where you had to buy like the toys, and that separated, you know, for those who didn't have the money with those who did have the money. That's why I didn't like those GI Joes, because you know they had like 50 different characters from one episode.
Well, yeah,
there were over 100 by the time they were done with.
Oh, yeah, right.
Mike. Obviously, Mike knows.
Okay, so my favorite thing was when Sergeant Slaughter appeared on both wrestling and in my GI Joe cartoon. It was like a revelation of my worlds like colliding. It was like the ultimate crossover.
See, Hasbro He-Man and Thundercats only had like a handful of toys, and then like different outfits for those toys.
I didn't have either.
G.I. Joe was like ridiculous.
Of course,
Transformers.
And we're not even talking about vehicles and bases and all kinds of stuff.
I had dozens of GI Joes. I had all the GI Joes, as much as you could want. I had 0 Transformers, 0 Thundercats, 0 He-Man. I had none of those. So
I had Transformers.
You had Transformers, bro?
I had Transformers. I also had the She-Ra castle. That was like the coolest thing I've ever owned in my life. My dad got me the She-Ra castle.
Oh, Dad of the Year. Wow.
Definitely Dad of the Year. That wasn't cheap.
Not really, but
that was not cheap. Still not cheap.
I remember I got this Cobra base.
I think I have Grayskull.
Yeah. It was the big round Cobra base, and in the center it had a plane that would launch out. But the plastic would always get stuck, and it wouldn't, like, after the first few times, like it wasn't really formed properly anymore to launch. So you had to kind of force it open and like pull the
Oh, I don't know. Keith might remember this, maybe Mike, but in Brooklyn, some of the bodegas used to have the knockoff GI Joe.
Oh yeah,
all the Korean stores did.
Yeah, all the Korean marts.
And this is not a knock to Koreans. It's just the Korean-owned stores. They used to.
That's where they were.
They used to import the toys, the knockoff toys, and they used to sell them.
That's where they were. How could you be? How could anyone be slighted by the actual facts of the situation?
Yeah. Just a disclaimer, though, right?
Oh, but those, I remember the knockoffs.
Yeah.
The
big one was the Voltron knockoffs, too. That was huge.
Yes.
Hey, it's better to have a knockoff than not have anything at all.
That's true. That is true.
If you had the full Voltron set.
Oh, my friend had a full Voltron. I was so jealous. Like, the full Lion Transformer.
Rich.
Dude, when I got that Voltron set, 10 years ago, I cried when it arrived in the mail. I cried.
Like 10 years ago from today?
From today, yeah. I finally got it.
Yeah.
I was like, are you going to open it up and play with it? I'm like, get the frick out of here, dude.
Oh. Where did you get it?
Some site. I forgot where.
All right.
Actually, my wife got it for me. Yeah, my wife got it.
I want to get one too, you know.
Oh.
Cool.
Whew. Okay.
Good stuff. Good stuff. How did
Before
Knicks do,
we
Keith?
end,
yes, go for it, Brooksy.
Before we end, I just want to remind everybody that Chris and I are playing in fantasy this week, and by next week, I will have beat him.
By next week, I will have beat him.
By next podcast, I will get the W this week.
I proclaim this.
James and the wife are playing each other this week. That should be interesting.
Yeah, that's not interesting.
Basically, on a weekly basis, it's just
I need
gonna be an
I need
announcement of
every
who
one
beat
of
Chris
Curry's
and
points
Fantasy.
tonight.
I was
yeah.
feeling so good last week. Before last week happened, I was feeling so good about it. Now it's just looking sad.
It's very early, obviously, in the week, so you never really know. But
the
we also
projections
just
aren't.
need a W.
Actually,
Looking
before we leave Fast and Furious, I want you guys to give me an inverse grade. So for our stupid movies, I would really like an inverse grade as to the dumber and stupider the movie, the higher the grade it should be. So
I like it.
I like that.
grades.
Well,
So-
then this gets an A+++.
Oh, well, this wasn't.
I
This
think,
wasn't the worst movie you've ever
I
seen
still
in your
like.
life.
I'd still like Velocipaster. To me, that's still my favorite.
That's the A+ movie, right?
That's an A+ movie, Velocipaster.
yeah, I think it for all its dumb bad acting. I think all that is great for a bad movie, but I think it was still missing a little bit of there. Velocipaster has that purposeful stupidity, and other shows are like fun stupidity. I'm gonna go with just dumb, so I'm gonna give it a B+
Okay.
for just being
Okay.
dumb bad acting.
Cool.
And having a stunt casting like DMX is always favorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a B+ as well. I agree with that grade.
Like if we go back to the worst one I think we've watched, which is Mike's Choice.
Oh my God, Mike, you're still on probation.
Which one? Wait, which one was that? I don't even
That
remember.
was the Snoop Dogg one. Like Snoop Dogg's
that
stunt
one.
casting brings that up.
That's my A+.
Then you gave us a Nick Cage one.
But I'm gonna give that like a C. Like a C for
That's when we put you in
the Nick Cage ninja movie.
Yeah, you went from this.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
that had like people fighting in it. So I would give that one like a A-.
Mm-hmm. But then the other one, what was the other one we did?
That was mine. The wrestling, going back
Money
to wrestling.
Money Plane.
Oh, that was so boring. God, I would give that a C+. That was boring.
All right, so it looks like Keith gets to pick the next one.
Oh, a bad movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Purposely bad. Purposely bad.
You'll have to think about it.
Okay.
All right.
You'll like this one.
What the fuck?
He's already got it now.
I don't like that tone.
I've got it already. I absolutely will not like it.
It
All right,
cannot.
well, we won't announce it here. We'll
All right.
take it offline. Yeah.
I was gonna say it can't be a Patrick Ewing biography or anything.
I wouldn't watch it either.
All right, Mike, where can everybody find us?
We are at Heroes Peak on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to smash that like button.
Hit the button. Hit the button.
Share our videos. Let people know we're out there. They
leave a comment as well. If you think
leave a comment.
somebody approaching you at the gym and asking you to take a photo or video that's not kosher, say so. Tell us.
If
We'll
you
share it with our
want
friends.
horrible relationship advice, come find us.
Yeah,
We
that's
do
it.
a segment of relationship advice.
I'm all for it. I'm all getting into other people's business.
Me too. Me too. I'm all about it.
You just told me offline, mind people's business about Kim and Kanye.
Because they have kids. They have kids.
There's the line. I guess.
Why does kids become the thing that's like, oh, the defining line? They have kids, so we should all mind our business.
All right, we
Why
don't
shouldn't
want
we
to
mind our business anyway? Because it's not our business. Like, how about that? Like, how about
All right.
how about that?
We can't all be an adult, Keith. Come on.
But if you come to us,
But you could be an adult if there's kids.
If you come to us, they can make it our business, and then
Exactly.
then it's
Yeah,
okay.
there you go.
Unless
Bye.
there's kids.
All right, that's it for us. Everybody have a fantastic week. We will see you soon. Thank you very much for joining us. And
Night.
we're
Peace.
out.